What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another podcast by your friend, cliffsitems. What's going on? This is my second take because the first take, I said something that I shouldn't be saying because it's concerning my safety. I just wanted to put that out there. But now, I'm back. And we're going to do this again. We're going to try it again. I was talking about Pokemon cards because that's something that really concerns me a lot lately. Because I started getting back into it a little bit, maybe like a little after the lockdown, maybe in April-ish. And it's a common story for a lot of people because Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, one of my favorite entrepreneurs on social media, online, was telling everyone to start collecting sports cards. Sports cards was the first thing that I started to get into again because I had a little collection when I was younger, and then I got some more sports cards. And excuse me, I burped. And they were great. I like sports cards; they're awesome, but it's a bit unpredictable. The market for those cards are kind of unpredictable. But with Pokemon cards, I feel that I have much more of a deeper connection with that hobby than I do with sports cards. And I found that that Pokemon cards are actually a very good way to invest your money, invest your resources. They appreciate in value over time. It's a hobby. There's a lot of hype to it. And it's just fun. Overall, the images are pretty and the characters are cool and fun. And I don't feel like I'm, supporting anything that I don't believe in. Like, I feel like Pokemon cards is such a innocent and very detached pop culture fandom, and I think it's great. It does have a bit of a escape to it, but by no means, I stuttered there. But by no means is Pokemon the escape for me. I'm not into escaping anymore. Escaping used to be a thing for me, a big thing for me. I used to escape to pornography. I used to escape to movies. I used to escape through food. It's tough, right? Like when I feel like growing up, I didn't know who I was, and I wanted to escape from reality. I felt like reality was too painful sometimes. And for the most part, it's true. Like, it was very painful, but it was all a matter of perspective. I really feel like, because now I'm not into escaping as much. I'm really all about diving deep, deep into life as it is, reality as it is, rather than trying to get away from it. But it's still fun to. A part of being in reality is entertaining that fantasy part of our brains, I guess. That sounds a little suggestive and dirty, but I'm saying like fantasy as in, sci-fi or fantasy, or isn't that weird that a whole genre is fantasy and then, sexual fantasy? It's like, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But Pokemon is a nice fantasy. It's a nice escape from reality as it is, and it's fun to just imagine, right? Pokemon is stimulates the imagination. And right now, there's a shortage of these cards. The company's having trouble printing these cards. We're having trouble getting them. The regular, normal hobbyist can't get these cards. And so when I go to a store to ask for them, it's always a little weird and awkward. I don't know if it's because they think I'm a little older for the collector, but a lot of collectors right now, the biggest people in Pokemon collecting are adults, which I think is problematic because that doesn't give kids any chance to get any of this product. And so what's the point of collecting anymore if nobody wants to buy them in the future, like if you're investing for the long term. But, whatever. No, I do care. Don't get me wrong. I do care. But right now I'm just talking about this whole shortage thing. And it's going to be apparent to you why it applies to you, because some of you may be like, why are you telling me about Pokemon cards? I came to hear about MBTI and INFJ and how great it is to be an INFJ, but you're talking about these stupid Pokemon cards. Well, hold your horses, young fella or fellow or young. Is fella for man and woman, or is it? I don't know. Hold your horses, okay? Or hold your Ponyta. Ponyta is a horse Pokemon, and you don't care. It matters because I think it reveals a lot about how human beings are, and it reveals about human nature, in my opinion. Just like how the toilet paper, there was a shortage in the beginning of the pandemic, which I feel like is... I thought about it the other day, and it's just like, it's funny to think about the whole toilet paper situation. I know it's like an old thing, and it's an old joke by now, but it's like when the pandemic hit, we were like in fear. We were so scared that we were like shitting our pants, and we needed toilet paper or something. It just made me. I just thought about it out of the blue. I was like driving, and I thought about it, and I cracked up. But like with the Pokemon cards now, there's another shortage here in this area particularly. And every time I ask people, it gets a little weird. Like I went to my local card store, and I asked them, hey, do you have any Pokemon cards? And before they're like, hi, how are you doing? Welcome in. How can I help you? And then after I ask them, it's like, you want Pokemon cards? Huh? Wait, what? What did you say? You want Pokemon cards? Well, you can't have any. You can't have... No, they didn't say that. But they kind of get a little... They tighten up a little bit. I understand, too, because they got to judge you a little bit. They got to see if they can trust you. Because you just might be one of those. Can you hear that? Anyway. So, just don't get mad if you find yourself in this podcast, because you could have talked a little quieter in the hallway. Just saying. Don't come in to me and be like, I didn't ask to be in your video. Well, too bad. You're in it. So with the Pokemon cards, I asked them, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, well, what do you yeah, you want one? You want? Okay, yeah. I mean, we had some, but I don't think we have any more. Maybe you have to try another week, or sometimes they stock on Friday or Thursday. No. Okay, I understand. Okay, I understand where you're coming from. You're suspect of you. You find me suspicious. Maybe. I don't know if it's the race. I don't know if it's the way I present myself, the way I'm a taller person and I want some Pokemon cards, and it's like, what are you doing? You're an adult, but okay. I'm an adult, and I'm going to be who I want to be, and I'm going to do things that I enjoy, and just so happens to be Pokemon cards, because not only is it fun and the artwork is pretty for some of them, I guess, I mean, the good cards, they're great. The artwork is great, but a lot of the common cards are ugly as fuck. No offense, Pokemon Company. But I want to collect some. Okay, I want to collect some. I want to invest. Some I want to keep for myself forever. Some I have a lot of vintage. I've been buying a lot of vintage Pokemon for a while, and I like it. Okay, so don't judge me. Jeez, I don't judge you. And they just get a little weird about it. And I'm just thinking, like, just please take your emotions and take your personal judgment and opinions out of it and think logically here. I'm just asking you if you have some Pokemon cards. It's a yes or no question. Answer. Question. Answer. All right. That's all I wanted to say. That's all. The answer is yes or no. Do you have any? I don't need your judgment. I don't need to feel your energy of, like, I'm judging you energy. I don't need it. Okay? Because I'm an honest collector. When it comes to Pokemon, if there's a product, if there's a box or a tin or a booster pack, I just want one. I just want one or two, okay? I just want one or two. I don't need 10 boxes of Champion's Path. I don't need that much. I just want a little bit to play with, okay? That's all I really want. But, it reveals a lot about the... I hope my neighbor doesn't hate me now, because literally the wall is right in front of us. But it's okay, because it's for you all. It's for y'all. Anyway, I was saying, like... What was I saying again? Yeah, I was talking about... Yeah, I just collect one or two. Okay, that's all I really, really, really want. Just one or two. And, damn, I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, the point is... Oh, yeah. The lizard brain. That's what I wanted to talk about. The lizard brain. Sounds kind of nefarious, huh? Sounds kind of... Ooh, what is it? Sounds kind of dark, huh? Yeah, because it reveals how humans are a little bit. When I think it activates the kind of like a primal part of ourselves. And by no means am I a social psychologist or a psychologist or whatever. I'm just a human being with an opinion. But I'm going to say, yeah, there's a bit of a brain activation of like, oh, there's a short supply of this valuable product. I must be careful of how this product and how this resource is allocated. Can't let other people take the valuable items. I must have control over those valuable items. I don't know what that impression was. I hope you can hear that. Anyway, that's all right. They're just talking in a hallway. I'm not judging you. You can talk as much as you want. But yeah, it's like there's this activation of like, oh, because back in the day, if there was a limited resource, like let's say salt or gold, and even if it didn't really apply to you, right? You still understood that it was a highly desirable product. It was a highly desirable resource, whether it be salt, rocks, corsets. Did they have shortage of corsets back then? Maybe they did. You have to take care of it. You have to make sure you're keeping those things in check, because you'll never know. Maybe one day you'll need it. Maybe that was kind of how it played out in the past. And so now, even though if you're not a Pokemon collector, even though you're not somebody who even gives a fuck about Pokemon, there's something about hearing about other people wanting that thing that makes you go like, wait, should I be taking that thing too? I don't want it. I want to have control over this thing. I want to have power over this thing that everybody wants, this Pokemon cards. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. But that's all right, because I have control over them. And I'm going to make you feel my passive aggressiveness as a punishment. Okay, I don't know where I went with that. That was weird. Yeah, so there's a bit of an activation of like a thing that goes on in the brain, I feel like. But I'm just like, bro, I'm just trying to be a normal person. I'm just trying to get some stuff, and I just want to open a couple booster packs. I know back a long time ago, no one cared. I could have bought like boxes full of this stuff, and no one would have gave a shit. And I should have, but I didn't, because I had a budget. I can't just buy a whole bunch of stuff, and I just want to maintain what I was doing, which is like, buy a couple booster packs a week, or like buy a little box a week and just kind of open it slowly. But we don't have that luxury anymore. No, it's just, you have to search for this stuff. You have to like a junkie, like, hey, do you have any Pokemon cards? When are they going to stock again? When are they restocking? Oh, it's the vendor. Okay. I'm going to calm down. I'll calm down. But it's okay, because we'll get over it. And I hope so. That little spiel, little story, the little anecdote that I had there. It's getting hot in here. I always get a little heated up when I talk about stuff like this. So what I was saying was that this story can help you understand a little bit about human beings. I feel like this experience that I'm having right now with Pokemon cards, as silly as it sounds to you, I personally love Pokemon. I don't love a lot of things in this world, but Pokemon is one of them. So yeah, like, just chill. All right, everybody, just chill, because you might just be having a primal reaction to what's going on. It's not. You have to be self-aware and understand that the reactions that I'm having aren't necessarily my own reactions. They're just primal reactions. And if you really think about it, it's like we're not in that time anymore. We're not in the time period where, if you miss out on a resource, it could mean risking your life or something. Pokemon cards is not going to affect your life. You can invest in gold. You can invest in silver. It just is a hype going on. It's something about everybody wanting something that makes it seem so much more special, okay? But in a couple of years, it's not going to matter anymore again. Maybe it will. Actually, maybe it will keep going, but it's always trends. They come and go. And Pokemon is just having a massive resurgence right now. And so if you were one of the people that collected before this, I commend you, because, it's really nice to see someone passionate about something, even when it's not, what everyone's talking about. I think there's something very admirable about people that are passionate about something that no one talks about, or really, it's like very niche. And I like to believe that about myself, that there are things that I do that I'm very passionate about in life, that is off the beaten path. And I really hope that it continues to be that way for me. It will be. I promise. I won't ever do things just because everybody's doing it. Pokemon was something that I really wanted to, like, at first it was about flipping. It was about like investing and getting some profit off of it. It really was. That was my first initial reaction, because Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about how we can invest in these cards and how the value is going to appreciate. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but there's a balance. Like, you got to also understand that other people want things. And so it's good to share. Sharing is caring. So if you're buying more than you need when it comes to investing, like, you can be an investor. You don't need to buy everything, right? You can still invest. You could just buy one or two, or just one of each thing that you want. And it's good enough. It really is. It's good enough if you just consistently do it, buy. You can still fulfill your investment agenda. Anyway, I'm tired of talking about Pokemon. It's been 20 minutes. if anybody is in Oregon, if you're still looking for Pokemon cards, I really want you to. Okay, I'm going to continue to talk about Pokemon. Okay, just give me 5 more minutes because this is going to benefit anybody who does want to get into Pokemon cards, okay, or collecting in general. There is still ways you can buy Pokemon cards. They're still out there online. It's still an option. You're going to pay a little bit of a premium, but at the end of the day, it's not that much. It's like, you're going to pay an extra $10, maybe $15. I know some of you will be like, bro, that's a lot of money. $15? I could buy myself meals for days. But come on, $15, is it really that much? Maybe it is for you. I'm sorry if I offended you. Actually, I don't care. But it's not that much, right? Like, it's not that much if you're investing in Pokemon cards, because if you get something that's valuable, it's going to appreciate $100 in a couple of years, or, potentially, if it's a really rare card, if you get one, and it's not like, you need to buy a more expensive product. Like, as long as it's in a booster pack, if you open it up, you have just as good a chance as anybody else to get a very valuable rare card. You just get, your statistics work in your favor when you have more product, right? But, still, I mean, if you consistently buy, you're going to get something good, and you can invest in that product, and it will appreciate over time. For the most part, it probably will. Pokemon is just such a global phenomenon. It's like, it's like a Disney, or it's like a Nintendo. It has that whole, like, this the hold potential that not many things do in pop culture, I think. Like, I mean, Marvel's a good example how it just has a good hold on popular culture in general, because everybody knows what Marvel is. It will continue to be popular. It will have dips, but it's still something that people will enjoy for a long time. So you can still find him. I mean, you just gotta figure out when they restock, like big box retail stores like Target, Walmart. I suggest going just going nearby to where you live, and checking frequently. Like, I did this, and it's kind of like a feeble thing. I feel like I'm going way too much out of my way. I stopped doing it because I'm checking almost all the time, and it's not great, because I'm just like driving all the time, and it doesn't seem right. So I stopped. Like, I did maybe like a month of like just frequently going to the store to see if there's cards. And I did, through that experience, learn that the likelihood of them stocking new cards is higher at the end of the month, or the beginning of the month, or the middle of the month. And it's never I don't think it ever is the same day. Some people say they restock same day, same time. No, it's not. Unless it is, I don't know. You got to check. If you want to put in the work, you can do it. Mind you, I don't know if you're afraid of the cooties. I don't know if I should call it cooties. That's kind of like demeaning it, but yeah, like, if you're afraid of the virus, I mean, you're putting yourself at risk too. Like, that's another thing. If you have health risks, then you probably don't want to do that if you're in a vulnerable population, right? If you're older, or if you have some pre-existing conditions, you don't want to do that, right? But I check early in the morning. When I was checking, I checked always at the opening time, and usually there's nobody there. It's like an empty store. There's just the employees, and I mean, maybe a lot of employees are sick, but it's not like I'm like breathing into their mouths. Like, I'm not going up to them, go like, hi. Like, I wasn't doing that, so I think I'm okay. But yeah, you got to check frequently, and you'll figure out what the schedule is. But yeah, I found that after checking for like a month or so, like usually beginning of the month and the end of the month, Actually, maybe it was like over a couple months that I was checking. And yeah, I figured like, I noticed the pattern like, oh, there's a lot of stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's fine. But that only lasts for a couple days where you see like shelves full of Pokemon cards. And you just gotta time it. You just gotta you gotta check every day and then notice the pattern of that particular store. And yeah, but I can tell you for sure, and most likely at the beginning of the month and the end of the month, and also can tell you around the middle of the month. And anytime there's some sort of holiday, like a 3-day weekend where there's going to be a lot of people buying stuff like Black Friday, they're going to stock the day before or a day or two before the weekend. So like, let's say there's a long, let's say Memorial Day, this coming up May, more than likely, I believe, or even like St. Patrick's Day or something. I don't like to use Memorial Day as an example because I feel like that's something I should be like, let's respect that. Let's not talk about buying Pokemon cards on that day. But like St. Patrick's Day. But even then, that's another thing. So let's just use something. Okay. I don't like when I do this. Let's use what's a good holiday? Okay, let's just use Let's just use I can't think of a good example. Maybe like okay, let's say there's a made up holiday. Okay, there's a holiday. It's Cliff Chang's Day. Okay, it's on a Monday, and then there's a weekend before that day. Then more than likely that Thursday or Friday, they're going to be stocking up some Pokemon cards because they want to stock it up nice and full. They want the shelves nice and full so people, when they have their weekend off, they have the long weekend, they're out, they want to go out and go shop. Then, yeah, like you want the shelves full of them. So just pay attention to that. Also, if you are in the PDX area, Mox Boarding House does sell Pokemon cards. They limit their cards, the product to one per person. I asked them recently, and yeah, they still have a lot of stuff on their shelves. So if you are in the PDX area, that's where you can find some good stuff. And it pains me to say this, but I'm trying to help y'all out. I'm not trying to keep it a secret. I feel like that's kind of gross. Anyway, what I was going to say. Okay, moving on. What is something that I have been thinking about? Well, actually, I'm not really thinking about anything else. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and end the podcast here. It's weird. I think usually 30 minutes is when I start to just stop. Like, I'm just like, I don't have anything else to say, really. I feel like I got it all out. I ended up just talking about Pokemon cards today. That's cool, I guess. Maybe I'll end up being a PokeTuber. INFJs and MBTI people, if I didn't really help you out in this video, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. I don't care. Sorry. I don't care. Sorry, not sorry. That's a really old thing to say, huh? Fuck. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this podcast. I'm still trying to figure out how to get this the podcast onto a normal streaming thing, but right now it's all on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I will catch you, like always, in the next video. Bye.